The following video was brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Save 10% on world-class hosting or any GoDaddy product when using the code POD88 at checkout. Now, the latest.
Okay, we have got Matt Kirk. He's going to be with us in a few moments here on the program. And let's bring him in. Matt, how are you, sir? There we are.
Hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is that,
Maybe it's user error.
let me do this. Let me go and come back. That might be a lot easier that way. Let's do it that way.
Try my headphones.
Okay, we'll see if maybe this fixed it. Matt, can you hear me, my friends?
I got nothing.
Okay. Me.
It might, like I said, it might be user error, but
No. No, it is probably me. Let me what I can do here. Okay. I'm gonna go out and come back. We shall see.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now at all?
Still got nothing.
Nothing.
You can hear me though? Wow. Should I reopen it from the email?
Let me try this. Let's if maybe that fixed it. Can you hear me at all?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, because it's odd. Because I've got volume on my
I don't know.
end.
I mean, should I try to back up out of the email and
let's
close
do this here. Let's remove him from the stage, and then go back in. Okay, did that work at all? Did that
Let me
fix
see.
it?
Nothing in the headphones either.
Nothing. Okay. Well, let's kick him, and maybe he'll come back in. We'll kick him from the studio and bring him back in. I don't know. Let's we have finally got Matt Kirk with us today. Matt joins us here on our big broadcast. You are a fantastic musician. How long have you been doing this music thing, my man?
Oh boy. Well, I just turned 40 and I'm like a second generation musician, riding my mom's coattails. I guess I started playing in clubs when I was like 12, 14, really.
That's awesome.
But I've been doing it a while and yeah, it's just kind of become, my, I guess just who I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. So Matt Kirk joins us today here on our broadcast. You have been just doing all sorts of different things. You've toured with all sorts of people. You've done, you've been doing this thing. What's been some interesting memories that you've made so far along the way?
I would say the one that sticks out the most at the top of that list is when me and Molly, my better half, brought our 6-day-old son out onto the stage in the Majestic Theater in San Antonio when I was opening for the Gypsy Kings.
That's awesome.
That's pretty hard to top. But I mean,
that's pretty hard to top.
But I've got all kinds of good stuff, all kinds of bad stuff. But that, and then recently in July we did a live record at Gruene Hall here, and at one point had my mom, my sister, and my niece up singing harmonies with us with the band. So just a lot of good stuff. Those are the things that without digging too far in my jumbled brain are the ones that stick out memory wise. Yeah,
that is awesome. That is awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. Matt Kirk is with us.
Thanks for having me.
You have been a mainstay over there at this, and I am going to butcher this. Is it Gruene Hall? Is that
Green? It's spelled weird, but yeah, it's pronounced green, like the color. Yeah.
So how did that residency help shape your sound, your confidence, and everything as a performer?
Well, I mean, as far as live music venues in this area that I am, that's probably the one, and I think the way it shaped me musically, inspiration wise or whatever, is pretty much through the course of my entire life, because I went there a lot as a kid. My dad would take me, and I'd still go there with my mom, and then I started working there when I was 15. Worked there for several years and saw just the cream of the crop as far as musicians go. And it wasn't until 2020 when I started playing there with the band. And I started playing in the front room there when I was like 18 with my mom and my brother, acoustic. But when we started playing there with the band, we were doing these 4-hour gigs, and we were doing 4-hour gigs with no breaks. So that will put some hair on your chest or whatever pretty quick as a musician, and it really just forces you to go to work, and become better.
That's awesome.
I'll be grateful for that forever.
That's awesome. Now you've got a new single, "Without the Dark."
Yep.
This is your first solo record. What inspired you to finally take the leap into the solo territory?
Well, the band is still on this tune, but this is the first song, I guess, that I would consider a dive into that singer-songwriter kind of thing, because that seems to be an impenetrable thing. I don't want to say click, but being recognized as a songwriter is something that is absolutely important to me, and that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on at this point.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we are going to do this. We are going to attempt to play that song.
Sure.
So hold on. This is brand new territory for the old StreamYard. So we are going to attempt to play without the dark. Hopefully, we have no issues and no hiccups. But if we do, we're going to stick this thing in later when we put it on YouTube and everywhere else. So you won't even know this took place. So cool. Hopefully, we can get this. Get
there
this going.
I can hear it.
Yeah. Yep.
Baby boy sleeping in his mama's arms, unaware of the world and all its harms. She'll do her best to keep him pure and clean, keep him from growing to be cold and mean. Vietnam vet sleeping in the park, stays up all night, he's afraid of the dark. He pleads with God by the fireside, an angel appears and he starts to cry. Time has a way of knocking you down, face down in the mud, watching the world go round. You got to keep love in your heart, you can't have the light without the dark. Face down in the mud, watching the world go round. You got to keep love in your heart, you can't have the light without the dark. Sitting with my dad, he was fixing to die. He didn't know it and neither did I. One thing he said before he passed, he said, son, this life goes too damn fast. Time has a way of passing you by. Some days you laugh, some days you cry. Got to keep love in your heart, you can't have the light without the dark. Time has a way of healing your wounds, just when you think that it's all a ruse. You got to keep love in your heart, you can't have the light without the dark. You can't have the light without the dark.
That is fantastic. That is a fantastic tune, my friend. So talk to us a little bit about your writing process for this.
For that tune in particular, it was just kind of putting into just short short verses, just stories, 3 different stories from my life. Obviously the first one about seeing our son sleeping in his mama's arms and knowing that's about as pure as it gets. Second verse is about a veteran that I'd come across in a park in San Antonio. It's been years ago, probably 10 or so. And that experience just really stuck with me because it was very impactful. And then the last verse was just about my experience with my dad at the end of his life. And that was extremely impactful for me. But just to wrap all that up with, a message that is not totally heartbreaking, that just the balance of life, that's where that comes about. You can't have you just can't have the good without the bad, or the light without the dark, or, it's pretty straightforward, but I think it's important for everybody to check themselves, and remember that that's just the truth.
That is awesome. That is awesome. We have got a great guest with us today. Matt Kirk joins us here on our big broadcast. And in February 2024, Matt toured with the world-renowned Gypsy Kings, opening their shows, solo acoustic. Talk to us a little bit about getting involved with all of that.
Well, it's kind of a fluke, I would say. But I did it, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't a very strange sequence of events that led up to that. But trying to make that story short, I had previously gone to see Lyle Lovett at Gruene Hall, which is about a mile from where we live.
That's awesome.
And just happened to start up a conversation with the lighting director for Lyle at the time. His name Dave Hartman from Portland, Maine, and we exchanged Instagrams. I didn't say anything about playing music. He carried around a little Snoopy doll that he would have people take pictures with, and that was like his Instagram page, Snoopy on the Road or whatever.
That's awesome.
And a few months later, he was flying from Portland, Maine to Dallas to work some shows with Lyle, and he listened to the record that I had on the Instagram page, and he sent me a message just like, dude, what the heck? You didn't say anything about playing music. And I said, well, it didn't come up in conversation and whatever. So he also works lights for a ton of other people, obviously the Gypsy Kings being one of them. And he just did everything he could to make that happen. And it did happen, and it was terrifying. Yeah, because at that point, I've been used to just, gigging around regionally and doing my thing, but I'd never been on those kind of stages, And the Gypsy Kings, I mean, that was a band I've been listening to since I was a kid. My dad was a huge fan. But it was just a big step up. And I think the thing that was the most intimidating of all that is that our son was born 2 days before I had to leave. So it was like, no pressure, But that was a great run of gigs. I mean, once it was all over, and that sigh of relief of realizing that I did it, and it was done, was big. Like, I don't think I'll ever feel that kind of pressure again, which is good. But those gigs were great, especially the one in San Antonio with the Majestic, because I had a ton of friends and family there. And but it was excuse me, I got some spammer calling me.
You're good. It happens.
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
It happens. We have got Matt Kirk with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. Coast to coast, born in the bar on iHeartRadio today. And of course, you can find us on Build, Grow, and Enjoy, buildgrowandenjoy.com. And Matt Kirk is going to be with us back here in just a few.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
There he is. No, you're good. It happens. It happens. They were probably trying to sell you Medicare
Man,
or
who knows? I mean, I get
told
those.
told you your car
Yeah,
insurance is up, or
yeah. Well,
my favorite is the one that has started calling where they're like, we're from your local public utility, and I'm like, I hate them assholes. Yes, get them on the phone.
yeah, yeah. Turn them loose. Yeah, I guess my computer is synced up to my phone, so it like cut
That's
off
awesome. That's
cut
that.
off
Hey, technology,
immediately.
baby,
But
technology.
I put the old do not disturb on so they can share it for a little bit. But
So, so we've got Matt Kirk with us today. He, of course, has got Without the Dark, and he joins us here on our big broadcast. And you've been expanding your reach. You've been playing pretty much everywhere from Saxon Pub in Austin to the 8750 Festival in Red River.
yeah,
Talk to us a little bit about these different audiences and how they've influenced your live shows, my man.
well, it's always intimidating to get out in front of people that have no idea who you are, you know, because that could go one of two ways. It could either go real good or real bad. Um, and so
Real
far,
good or real bad?
yeah, well, it's scary to get out there and lay it all out for people that you're going to love it or hate it. But fortunately for us, whether I've been out solo or with the band, uh, we've it's just been really well received, and that's always a great feeling. And not only making new fans, but I feel like making new friends. I love meeting new people and chatting with people in different places and hearing their stories, and that to me is like the most exciting thing about just getting out of our little bubble here in Texas and being new places. I mean, turning people onto the tunes, but also just meeting people, seeing new stuff, especially getting up to Colorado, New Mexico, and the pretty parts, because there's some not pretty parts too.
The pretty parts.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, we've been lucky.
So we have got Matt Kirk with us today. He, of course, has Without the Dark. You have said Without the Dark reflects three deeply personal experiences. Talk to us a little bit about these.
Um, yeah, so the
I know we
first,
kind of
yeah,
spotlighted
for
some of
sure.
them earlier,
I
but
can totally
give us a little bit more details.
I can really get in detail with all three of those. I mean, the first one, first verse, Molly and Augie, when he was a little baby, watching him sleep in her arms is, it was enough to choke me up. And then that veteran that I had met, home, I don't know if the word is homeless or whatever, but he'd been staying in the park for a while. It was the day
Yeah.
after Thanksgiving. I had like that hollow feeling in myself for whatever reason. So I was walking through the park. It was really cold morning, day after Thanksgiving, and I was walking by this guy. I had my headphones in, and he was laying, with his back up against a picnic table in the sun, and like light, steam, and smoke was coming through the shadows of the trees. And I just stopped and I said, "Hey, man, are you hungry?" And he opened his eyes and looked kind of shocked, and I don't know if he was irritated or pissed off or what. So I said, "I'm sorry for bothering you. I will. I'll move on." He said, "No, no, no. It's fine, man. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect anybody to stop." I said, "Well, are you hungry?" He said, "I'm okay." I said, "Well, I got a bunch of Thanksgiving leftovers at the house. Let me know if you would like to have them." So he accepted them, and I brought him back, and he'd mentioned, he was like, "I can't eat any more bacon, man." I said, "Well, here, you can have all this. It's all good stuff. I had my fill yesterday." But he said when I was walking by, when he had his eyes closed at that moment, he was like pleading his case with God or whatever you want to call that,
Yeah.
or whatever your views
Oh
are,
yeah.
and for just anything to give him a sign to, like, press onward through the fog. So that really tripped me out. That was a very humbling experience to have caught him in that moment
That's
of
crazy.
desperation. I still feel odd about that. I mean, not odd. It was a lot to process, to digest.
Yes.
So, you know, getting food, whatever, go about my life. And I saw him, I don't know, 6 months later or so in the same park. And he was just like a totally different dude, you know. I said, "Hey, man, how's it going?" And he was all excited, chipper, and joyous in his facial expressions. And he said he had gotten all his stuff together through the VA finally, and he was getting his first apartment in like 2 weeks from that time.
Wow.
And so he'd been
That's
on the
awesome.
streets or in a park for however long. So that, I mean, like I said, that was probably a decade ago, but it always stuck with me, and I always had that story stashed under the hat for a while to throw into a song. So it worked out nice. And then that last verse about my dad, that was, you know, my dad passed away November 22nd of 2020. So still in the thick of all that COVID stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he'd gone in the hospital on July 3rd, and I wasn't able to see him again in person till like October 13th, which, you know, that was just a weird time for everybody. But so when I finally went to see him in the hospital, you know, we talked about, the first thing he said is, "Where the F you been, boy?" I was like, well, you know, I couldn't really explain to him what had been happening, and he couldn't really quite understand what had been happening with the world. So I,
Yeah.
you know, chatted with him, and he was talking about how he wanted to go to the coast and go golfing and do all this stuff when he got out, and say, "Yeah, no problem, we'll do all that." So when I was walking out, you know, he stopped. He said, "Matt," you know, I turned around and said, "Yeah, what's up?" And he said, "God damn, it goes by fast." I said, "What?" He said, "Life." And it was just like, damn, you know, that was heavy. And I think it was like a month and not even a month and a half later, he passed away. So,
Wow.
you know, and that was 5 years ago almost. But another really, really heavy experience that's stuck with me. And I think, you know, it seems like every time I play that song, when I finally open my eyes and look out, there's somebody that's choked up somewhere, which
Yeah.
is a drag, man. I hate making people cry, but I think it's okay. Everybody cries, man. It's
Well,
okay to
I'll
cry.
tell you, you have quite the deal here. This song is fantastic. But before we let you go, how do
Sure.
we connect with you online, social media, buy your stuff, get involved with everything you're doing, my man?
Uh, well, we got a Facebook band page, is Matt Kirk and the Wayfarers, and that's, you know, have a band Instagram, which is like personal / band. That's also Matt Kirk and the Wayfarers. And
Okay.
then the website, the same thing, mattkirkandthewayfarers.com. That has all of our gig dates, pictures, video, EPK. We're like really, really close to having our online merch store available. Excuse me. That'll probably happen this week. So, I mean, any one of those three things. I mean, the website, and you know, if there's a way to reach out and contact to the website. Also, all the music that we have recorded to date is available on all those necessary evils, you know, streaming platforms. And Without the Dark will be available next Friday on October 24th to stream
Cool.
for everybody. Yeah,
Cool.
and then that's kind of what we're working with.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, you have been amazing.
Well, thanks a
Thank you
lot.
for
Appreciate
making some time for us today. Thanks
it. Of
for
course.
hanging out with us with our various tech issues.
I
And
enjoyed it. Too bad it wasn't me.
it is a good time. So thanks for doing this, brother. Really appreciate the time.
All right, thanks a lot. Holler when if you need anything.
Definitely,
All right.
I will. Hey, before we let
Sure.
you go,
Of
what
course.
part of Texas are you in?
The hill country, so I'm pretty much right in
Are
between.
you anywhere near Dallas?
No. I
Okay.
mean, you know, if you're coming from France, yes, but if you're coming from you're I'm like right in between San Antonio and Austin in a town
Oh,
called New Braunfels. that used to be a small town, but and then even within New Braunfels is a tiny little postcard town called Gruene, and
that's awesome.
Gruene, and that's where the dance hall is, and blah blah blah. But I live about a mile from the front doors of Gruene Hall.
That's awesome.
So I was born and raised here in the hill country of Texas, and so yeah, Dallas is a world away.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for making some time for us today, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. Adios.
Appreciate it. There he goes. That is Matt Kirk with us today here on our big program. And thanks for joining us today here on our big broadcast. And if you want to listen to this again, we have it on Spotify. We also are going to put it all over the damn place. BitChute, Rumble, Clout Hub, AM, FM 24/7, all those damn places. And get a hold of us online over there at jiggyjaguar.com. And